1980, BMW introduced a bike that didn't get a warm reception, the R80G/S, the Gelandestrasse. And what do you mean by warm reception? Well, they produced it from 1980 to 1987, and they only sold 21,000 units. Fast forward to today, though, the 1300 GS. In all its iterations, they sell over 60,000 of those every single year. But this year in 2025, they're paying homage back to the 1980. Engine and transmission are the same as on the R12 and R12 9T as last year. Same power, same torque, same compression ratio, same bore and stroke. But this buttery smooth 1170 Boxer motor, air oil cooled, is my favorite Boxer of all time. Yeah, you can go back 2-3 decades to the 1150. That's also one of my favorites. I think the 1150 and the 1200s are my two favorite Boxer motors of all times. Although the 1100 was good too. I digress. How is this engine and transmission on the street?
Well, let's go down this kind of damp country road and went into neutral there. Quick shifted into neutral. That was interesting. Let's just do 50% throttle all the way up to 100 kilometers per hour. All right, let's see how this quick shifter is, because this has the optional quick shifter. Not bad, not bad, not bad, not bad. Okay, it beats the older 1200 Boxer quick shifters. This quick shifter is a lot slicker. They have improved it, but they have a new sensor in there that they're not telling us. Here on they did that on the 1300, and I can tell, and they did it on the 900 R and XR also. They're not telling anybody, and also the chip is different. The hardware, the ICU, ECU is different. They started changing them in 24 on all BMWs, and just not telling anybody that they did it. And it made the quick shifter slicker, smoother. And this has it, and it is slicker and smoother. So I'm liking it. With this transmission, 5, 4, 3, 2, let's go back up. 3, 4, 5, 6. I cannot complain. It's no longer clunky. That's the nice thing about this, I'm noticing. I'm liking this. As a country road weekend warrior, this will keep up with any 1300 GSs, no problem. Especially because it's even lighter at 229 kilos than the 1300. The weight feels lower, less bulk up high. Yeah, I would take this over the 1300 GS on a weekend country road carving tour, so to speak. So this engine and transmission, I like it better than the 1300 GS. And let's go down to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, beautiful. Yeah, 2.5 thumbs way up. Boom, boom. Let's see how this is standing up. Oh, this is nice. I'm liking this. You can squeeze the tank real easily with your knees, and then shift your weight. Oh yeah, this is nice. Although I think I would do the enduro package if I plan to do off-road and get the higher handlebars, 20 mils higher, and then you can adjust this also forward and backwards. But I can tell the balance of this bike and everything is pretty easy. I'm liking it. Well, let's set the cruise. Why? Because this has cruise. It's set at about 120, and the wind is everywhere. It's hitting me about right here, but arms, legs, yeah, 100%. Full helmet, yeah, no problem. It's total face on the helmet. But vibration, yeah, you feel it in the right peg and the left. It's the old 1170 boxer motor, so you got some vibration. The road feel is in the hands and the grips, so very little, some vibration, very little in the left and right hand. So overall, could you do limited stints? Yeah, I wouldn't want to do any longer than say an hour on the Autobahn here at this speed, 120, which is what, 75 miles, almost 75 miles an hour. So yeah, let's get over and pass this truck. So overall on the Autobahn, would I take this on the Autobahn? Yeah, no problem. It's perfectly well capable and well suited for the Autobahn. I'm pleasantly surprised for a 50/50 enduro, but 2 thumbs up. Boom, boom.
Fully adjustable front forks. They're manually 45 millimeter Marzocchis here, and they have it really protected. This travel here of 210 mils. There, now you can see it. On 310 discs, dual of course, and these Brembos, they're only 2 pistons, but they work fairly well. Axial mount here, not radio. I'm not complaining. I can't complain about this. And this is a 2-piston Brembo on the back on a 265 disc. Now this whole chassis that you see here, this frame, subframe, and engine configuration is the same as on the R12 last year and the R9T. Basically, it's very similar and same since it came out in what, 2017, the R9T? Oh no, 2014, sorry. Yeah. Oh, you guys will say, no, 2014, yeah. But it has evolved since then, and this is the last year's version of it. Now, how is this new suspension pretty much feeling on the street?
On my favorite bumpy roads in my neck of the woods, I'm moving along quite fast on this, surprisingly. I'm keeping her at 100, where this suspension is working very well. Wow. I never expected this. This suspension and everything is all dialed in for the streets. I'm pleasantly surprised, and I never thought I would say that about this bike. 5, 4, jumper down to 3. Got to watch this corner because cars come out over here all the time. There, now back on, and let's turn in. Oh, nice. I'm pleasantly surprised with the road capabilities of this suspension. Yeah, it's still paralever on the rear, but these upside down forks, they have 210 mils of suspension travel, and watch the dip. Nice front brake, by the way. Oh yeah. Oh, wow. Now the rear is a little bit different story. I don't get as much feel and feedback, but yeah, with off-road biased motorcycles, normally that is a problem all the time. You get that, and you want that because you want to add a little more pressure. You never want to be hard on the brakes whatsoever. But that front is nice. Wow. This suspension and brakes, 2 thumbs up, no problems. Boom, boom.
If you get the Enduro package, you can get the higher handlebars, risers, and also the handguards, and also a bigger protection down here, and also bigger foot pegs here. And you can also get the rally seats, and they have little loops here, extra tie downs. That's steel there, and that is pretty strong that you can strap on any extra little luggage. But yeah, what do you notice here? All the originals had the muffler on the wrong side. Say, what do you mean? Well, the shaft is on the right side. And say, what do you mean the wrong side? Well, on enduro bikes, if you drop a bike or you need to push it and rev it, the muffler might burn you. Although with this, you can see here, your leg will hit this instead of the exhaust. Although if you're way back here, then it'll still hit. But then BMW rectified that later on with the later Boxer motors and put it on the correct side for an enduro bike. This 860 off the ground, but I'm not complaining about it. And with my height, I'm flat-footing this, guys. I'm surprised. And sitting on this, loving this. This is awesome. The foot peg to seat height is, and same thing with the handlebars. I wouldn't change anything. Now, if I wanted to do some off-road, though, I would probably get the 20 mil higher handlebar, to be quite honest with you. But if you go with the enduro package that I just mentioned, this will go from 17 inch to 18 inch. That will stay at 21. And then if you go over the rally seat, it's even 20 mils higher for a total of 895. That's too tall for me. 15.5 liter filled up is 229 kilos. Usually I can feel the weight. I couldn't on this. I don't feel it. It feels more like 215 kilos. Is basically what it feels like. It feels lighter than the 900 XR that I used to own. Never thought I would say that, even though this is 10 kilos heavier than that. But it's low. And also the GS 1300 feels a lot heavier in this. You say, well, it is. Yeah, it's 8 kilos heavier than this if I go base to base. No center stand, no nothing, whatever. Fully fueled, it's 8 kilos heavier, but that feels a lot heavier than that, 8 kilos. It feels more like 15 kilos heavier. Say, Scott, can you really feel that? Because I always get you guys questions. Like, yeah, I ride 35 different bikes a year, so you start to feel where that weight sits on each different bike. And this is low. 1300 GS feels higher with its weight. So I don't know, that was a magic trick. I think it's because all the stuff that's up higher on the bike, on the GS, there's more of it. Here they've minimized it, and so the weight is all down here where it counts in the engine and transmission and powertrain. So how does this 229 kilos feel at low speed?
The on-off throttle is buttery smooth. There's no jerkiness whatsoever. Here, let's try first gear. No complaints. It's smooth on, smooth off. And that's getting harder and harder these days with this Euro 5 Plus, with all these emission controls. Neutral is so easy to find. I found it there and I wasn't meaning to. I just wanted to gently shift from first to second and it stopped in neutral. That's how easy neutral is to find on this. So in low speeds, in a little village, for example, and it's awesome, this engine and transmission. But now let's talk about the riding position. Fits me perfect. I'm liking this. I have an inseam of 32 inch and this is perfect. So this is the 860 mils off the ground seat. You can go to the 880 or even to the 895 once you do the rally with the 18-inch wheels and the rally seat. But I think I would just leave it like this. And this nice wide handlebar is just so comforting and soothing and relaxing. There we go, relaxing with this upright riding position. And I have a commanding view of everything in here. So if you're looking for a city commute that is this retro enduro look, and you want a big capacity, then this is the bike for you. I am liking this better than a Triumph Scrambler 1200. And I do like it better than the Triumph 1200 Scrambler. It's easier to ride I do like the sound of that motor better than the sound of this motor and the exhaust note. But everything else, now if we could take that sound, engine sound and exhaust note, and put it on this. Beautiful, love this bike. So as a city commuter and low speed maneuvers, this thing is so easy to flick over with this commanding and position and wide handlebars. I will give this 2.5 thumbs up. Granted, given its heft and its big capacity, 2 thumbs way up. Boom, boom.
All the standard controls here. Yes, you see the Wonder Wheel here. And yes, heated grips and cruise control. And yeah, the standard ones here. Standard mirrors. And yes, if you get this bike, you need this. Not the TFT. You have USB-C charging here. And of course, your 12-volt charge there. And this is keyless, so if I press this right now, there, I have the key in my pocket, and then it'll start it up. But you can use the key to lock the handlebar over too. And this is a new, look at that, headlight. Yeah, interesting, huh? It's taken after the 1300 GS. Not sure it's okay. Okay, guys, now overall, who is this for? Well, BMW say it's a true 50-50 bike. It's going back to the roots of 1980. That was the goal then, and now this is the goal here in 2025. Same goal, 50-50, 50 off-road, 50 on-road. So you can say, well, then it doesn't do either one very well. But it does them both well enough. Put it that way. On the street, very happy with it. Since I'm a primarily 95% on road, I ride this on road all the time. I can do a little bit back here, but yeah. If you get the Enduro package, I didn't mention this, you can turn off the rear ABS. So then you can really mess around if you want, and also control the traction control. Let it spin as much as you want, or as crazy as you want to get. It'll let you do that. So now you know who this is for. Somebody who is actually going to go off-road more than the average adventure rider. Come on, let's be honest, not even 10% of the time adventure riders actually take their bikes off-road. Let's be honest. If you actually look at how many kilometers you ride per year, how many of those kilometers are actually off? Even less than 10% of those kilometers. This is made for more of that. So this has a special niche market. So if you want to do some off-road, but yet ride the same bike to get there, perfect. If you need to do a weekend trip, and on that weekend trip, you're going to do some trail or some light off-road, beautiful bike, perfect for you guys. And the competition. What is the competition for this? Well, I wrote down the Triumph Scrambler 1200 XE Moto Guzzi V85 for that retro vibe, and also the Ducati Desert X, and also the Honda Africa Twin, the base model, because that is a little heavier than this, but not by much. That's 231 kilos, this is 229. So the base off-road version of the Africa Twin and this are right there, guys. And in price, I think the Africa Twin will win. Well, it depends on what country you're in. This base right here is 15, 16, whereas the Africa Twin will be a little less than that here, maybe 14. You might save a grand or two. And a Moto Guzzi V85, although that is a smaller motor, but it still is your air oil cooled and shaft drive. That's why I mentioned that. Whereas the other two bikes are not, they're chain drive. So competition-wise, it's unique. Something this big, 1200 cc with a shaft drive, and has off-road credibility. I mean, look at this, Dakar rally inspired. And this won, I think it was 3 Dakars rallies back in the early 80s. I think in 83 and 84, this won Dakar, so maybe 2. I don't recall others. Post below to tell me what years did BMW win with this? All right, guys, as always, I hope you've enjoyed this review. Ride safe, guys, and ride like there's nothing to prove. Ciao.